Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we have something very, very important to cover, and that is subjective control. This is a point that is overlooked by many, many people that are manifesting and trying to create the life of their dreams. And thinking internally and subjectively is very important, and we're going to go over that in this chapter today. This is chapter 12, Subjective Control, the Power of Awareness by Neville Goddard. And I'm going to explain how you can do this, how you can actually use this technique in your day-to-day life and actually manifest and create the life of your dreams, change the version of yourself by thinking subjectively and building up that momentum. Because once you do something over and over and over, and you create a faculty or a facility within yourself, your mind, you start developing the muscle of the mind, and you start building up momentum, and before you know it, you're automatically thinking internally and you're disregarding your outside world. So if you're trying to create $1 million in your life and something comes into your life that's in complete conflict with that, you're going to disregard automatically. You're going to throw it out of the way. You're going to say, no, that doesn't mean anything. I know I'm getting the $1 million. I know I'm getting it. Absolutely. It's coming, and you can build that momentum where you'll start thinking this way automatically, and it'll be effortless at that point. Once you practice this technique over and over and you build that momentum, and then you will be able to think subjectively. And we're going to cover that in chapter 12, Subjective Control, the Power of Awareness by Neville Goddard right now. And I went through this and I highlighted some points I want to expound on. I'm going to teach you how to think subjectively. Okay, so but we got to start here with the degree of attention, the muscle of the mind. And in chapter 7, Attention in the Power of Awareness, Neville Goddard covers an exercise that we should all do, and I encourage all of you guys to do, is replay the day's events in reverse order. You can do it before you go to bed. You can do that anytime during the day. Just do that sometime, even if only it's 10 minutes. Just get in there and do that. Replay the day's events in reverse order in meditation, and that will increase your ability to hold your attention in one area and focus that and help build that momentum so you can live subjectively and create your imaginal acts, create the life of your dreams. Change the version of yourself. You will be limitless at that point of your potential. All right. And we also just launched a course where if you need more guidance, if you need something that's actually going to walk you through the steps of actually completing that course, or the exercise of reversing the events in reverse order, you can go on to Neville Book, and we actually have a course on that. You can check that out. I'll put that in a link in the description below. But let's go ahead and jump right into this. Okay. So your imagination is able to do all that you ask in proportion to the degree of your attention. All progress, all fulfillment of desire depend upon the control and concentration of your attention. That's why I wanted to cover that. Replaying the day's events in reverse order. That exercise is so important. That's why Neville Goddard goes over this in almost every single chapter, how important it is right here. All fulfillment of desire depend upon the control and concentration of your attention. That's the foundation, guys. It is the absolute foundation to creating anything that you want in your life and changing your life, changing the version of yourself, creating large amounts of money, creating a new career, a new relationship. All of this depends, your quality of life will increase by 100x if you develop the muscle of the mind. You do these exercises, they will pay great rewards. Okay, so attention may be either attracted from without or directed from within. This is what I'm talking about right here. This is subjective. This is the difference between objective thinking and subjective thinking. Okay, so your attention may be either attracted from without or directed from within. So we must learn how to direct our attention from within no matter what's going on in your 3D world. You must direct and build that momentum and program your mind to start thinking this way, directing your attention from within, that feeling that you have, sustained feeling, and disregarding anything that's in conflict with your wish fulfilled. Okay, so attention is attracted from without when you are consciously occupied with the external impressions of the immediate present. Okay, that is when your attention is from without, objectively. When your attention is being held objectively, you are reacting to the day's your objective world, your 3D world. You are living your life based on what happens in your 3D world. You're living that way. You're already programmed that way. You're living from everything that happens, all the reactions and your day's events. You are living from those events, and that's living objectively. So that's what we're gonna change. We need to start living subjectively, your attention subjectively, thinking subjectively, and creating your world intentionally. Okay, so Your attention. Okay, so right here, it gives you an example. The very lines of this page are attracting your attention from without. Like this video, it's attracting your attention from without. Your attention is directed from within when you deliberately choose what you will be preoccupied with mentally. Okay, so you are taking control of your world this way. So if there's 100 things going on in front of you, and only 2 of those things contribute to your success and happiness, you need to be focused on those 2 things, not the 98 things. You're going to complete, and once you start doing this, you're going to develop that muscle to where you build up so much momentum. You're going to be programmed to see those 2 things, and you're not even going to see the 98 negative things that don't contribute to your happiness or your success. Okay, so when you start thinking and holding your attention and thinking subjectively, your whole world is going to transform. Your whole life is going to transform, and you're going to be so successful. Okay, so your attention is directed from within when you deliberately choose what you will be preoccupied with mentally. It is obvious that in the objective world, your attention is not attracted by, but is constantly directed to external impressions. But your control in the subjective state is almost non-existent. For most people, their control in the subjective state is nearly non-existent because we're not trained this way. This is a new way to be trained to be successful. This is a new age, a new era of thinking, okay? So for in this state, attention is usually the servant and not the master, okay? The passenger and everyone is the passenger of the vehicle, okay? So it's time to be the navigator of your world, okay? Don't be the servant, be the master of your mind, be the master of your world, not the servant for someone else's imagination that knows how to use this subjective internal thinking, okay? And intentional thinking. There is an enormous difference between attention directed objectively and attention directed subjectively. And the capacity to change your future depends on the latter, okay? So the capacity to change your future is all dependent on your ability to subjectively hold your attention and think subjectively, okay? So when you are able to control the movements of your attention in the subjective world, you can modify or alter your life as you please. But this control cannot be achieved if you allow your attention to be attracted constantly from without. So deliberately disentangle yourself. Use that exercise. Deliberately disentangle yourself from your outside world while you're doing your day-to-day events, and then start directing them internally. Start seeing the best in everything as well. Start thinking subjectively. If something's not going the way that you want, change that internally and take direction of your attention. Okay? Each day, here it is. Each day, set yourself the task of deliberately withdrawing your attention from the objective world. So you can do this during the day, every single day, a couple times during the day. Maybe even set an alarm on your watch or your phone to remind you to set yourself the task of deliberately withdrawing your attention from the objective world and of focusing it subjectively. Okay? In other words, concentrate on those thoughts or moods which you deliberately determine. Okay, so if you have things going on in your life, in your 3D world, and they're trying to get your attention to be negative or to be sad or be depressed, disentangle immediately from that and concentrate on the thoughts and moods that you want. How do you want to feel? And then disentangle yourself from those emotions your outside world is trying to dictate, and then focus internally, take subjective control of your mind, and start deliberately concentrating on those thoughts or moods which you deliberately determine. Then those things that now restrict you will fade and drop away. Your world will change completely. You will be redirected to a different world completely. The version of yourself will be completely changed, and your world, people that are usually negative, once you start doing this for long periods of time, negative people will start being deflected out of your path. You're going to start creating the life of your dreams, and those people that are negative aren't even going to be there anymore. I mean, most people say you're just not going to see them, but that's not true. They won't be there. They will be deflected off course from your reality once you build this momentum and program yourself. The day you achieve control of the movements of your attention in the subjective world, you are the master of your fate. Okay? The day you achieve control of the movements of your attention in the subjective world, you are master of your fate. You will no longer accept the dominance of outside conditions or circumstances. You will no longer accept the dominance. So it doesn't matter what's going on in your world. You're not going to accept that. You're not going to accept what's going on outside when you know that subjectively everything is created. and you can take subjective control of your attention and change it. Okay, so you will not accept life on the basis of the world without anymore. So whatever's going on in your life, you're no longer going to accept what's going on in the outside world and not react to it, because you're going to know that everything is created subjectively, and you can take control of that. Start thinking subjectively. This is absolutely great. I love this chapter. Okay, so having achieved control of the movements of your attention and having discovered the mystery hid from the ages that Christ in you is your imagination, you will assert the supremacy of imagination and put all things in subjection to it. Absolutely love this. All right, so we got chapter 13, acceptance, next, guys. We will be getting into that tomorrow. But I'm going to give you a little recap here real quick. Okay, so subjective control. Your imagination is able to do all that you ask in proportion to the degree of your attention. So we need to develop the muscle of the mind. So start doing that exercise, and we have that course on Neville book. We'll replay the events of reverse order, in reverse order, every single day, a couple times a day. Play that out. You can just do that. It's actually, if you just want to get the exercise out of Neville Goddard's book, it's in The Power of Awareness, or you can go check out the video, which I think is 5 videos back from this one, from The Power of Awareness. It's chapter 7, so you can get that. But if you need more guidance, that's the reason why I create these courses. That way you will be held accountable. Once you get a course, you will be held accountable to actually doing these exercises, and it will give you the motivation to get them done. And that's why I create them, because it forces you to do them. You have to take action, guys. But if you don't need that, just go back to chapter 7, read it, and do it. All right, guys, I love you guys very much, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Give me one thing you guys are grateful for right now in the comment box below. Thank you.